last night, the Phillies were able to pull out a victory over the New York Mets thanks to Ryan Howard. Earlier in the game, he had an RBI single, but this one on the first pitch against Matt Harvey over the wall in left center field, and that was really all Cole Hamels needed. 7 strong innings. It was his best performance, not only the regular season, dating back to spring training. He gave way to the bullpen. How about Kenny Giles? Explosive last night. Bob McClure said, we hope that's the way it's going to look the rest of the year. And then Jonathan Papelbon recorded save number 112 in a Phillies uniform. And everything went right for the Phillies in the victory over the New York Mets. And now today, they'll hand the baseball to Aaron Harang, who's facing one of his former teams. He's pitched well for the Phils. Yep, it's like the old days here at Citizens Bank Park. A little tailgating outside, a little rivalry between the Phillies and the Mets. It's game 2 of a 3-game series. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs and Mike Schmidt as we get set for game 2 between the Phillies and the Mets. The Mets were a rivalry even when you were playing for the Phillies back then. And the Phillies are turning their attention to Freddie Galvis and how explosive he's been in the 2-hole.
Tommy, Freddie was one of the highlights for me, getting to know him in spring training. He's a wonderful young man, good family man, very, very coachable. Here you see some of his highlights, and you know, that swing right there is just what I want to talk to you about right now. There it is again. The short, quick, down swing. Boom, down. Now, that's a little bit of a rollover right there, but when you're getting your other hits, they seem to find holes. If Chase could only get one like that, right? But I caution you, it's early in the year. It's only mid-May, and baseball's a long season. Let's not get overly excited. Take it one day at a time with Freddie.
Well, Freddie Galvis among the leaders in the National League in hitting at .351. How about D. Gordon, the way he's exploded onto the scene again this year for the Miami Marlins? All right, so Galvis is batting second. The guy batting leadoff is suddenly hot again in Ben Revere.
Well, Ben's very happy that April is gone and May is here. He says he starts off slow. He really hasn't changed a whole lot. You see the numbers through April and May. Really, it's just the doubles. It's the extra base hits that I'm enjoying right now. And I had a long talk with him today in the locker room today. He says he really hasn't changed a whole lot of things. He's getting a hitter's count. He's being very aggressive. Here in Atlanta, he hits a couple balls, one to the wall, hits another one to right center. But he's getting a good pitches to hit, and he's not missing them. Where in April, he was getting fastballs. He was fouling them off. But for me right now, everything is going very well. His timing mechanism is his elbows. When his elbow is closed very closely, right here, when he taps his elbows together, that's when his back goes down with the hitch. His foot's getting down early, and he's being able to hit the ball to left field, right field. But like you said, he hasn't really changed a whole lot. He's just actually squaring the ball up. He's getting base hits.
Third week of April, his average was at 172, and now it's climbing more and more as the games are moving on. The Phillies hope the same will hold true here tonight against the New York Mets. It will be Jonathan Niesboy. He's had some success against the Phillies, hasn't he? And he'll be opposed by Aaron Harang, who's making his second start of the season against New York. And overall, it's his 7th for the Phils. Well, the 8-9 combination of Kenny Giles and Jonathan Papelbon, they were at it again last night. How about Giles hitting 99 last night on the gun, and Papelbon, well, he's just been outstanding here in 2015. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Toyota. The Toyota Time Sales event ends June 1st. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places. By Budweiser. Still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Consecutive victory over the New York Mets. Beautiful night for baseball here at Citizens Bank Park. Crowd continues to file in, and we are just a few moments away from getting things started. Let's take a look at the Mets starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Granderson's in right field. He'll lead off again. Juan Lagares bats second. Lucas Duda back in the lineup. He'll hit third. And then Michael Kadire back in left field will bat cleanup. Daniel Murphy makes a start over at third once again. Kevin Plawecki, the catcher, will bat sixth. And the bottom third of Herrera, Tejada, and Jonathan Neese. And they will face big right-hander Aaron Harang, 37-year-old today, making his seventh start, 3-2, Matt, with an ERA of 2.35.
Well, he's been throwing the ball very well, and he's been throwing a lot of fastballs and spotting his fastball, which is very important for him. Yeah, and in the Budweiser scouting report, his fastball is average about 88.6 miles an hour, but the leg is hitting 205 versus his fastball, so he's had a lot of late movement, and he's spotting it very well.
And these Mets hitters have faced him a number of times before. Curtis Granderson will lead things off, 0 for 4 last night. And the first pitch of the game is in there for a strike, and it's no balls and one strike. Granderson hits one foul over the Mets dugout. He is 1 for 14 lifetime against Aaron Harang. That ball kicked down to the lower level, Matt?
Twice. The gentleman turned around and caught it, barehanded it.
Up and in, 1-2.
Hey, you guys, and nice to be with you again here on the weekend.
Nice to have you, Mike.
What I like about Aaron Harang is he has fun when he pitches.
Yeah, he seems to have this sort of relaxed Southern California personality.
I played golf with him. I just met him this year for the first time, but he was on my scramble team in the spring, when we have our Phillies outing. And what a nice guy, relaxed, good golfer. Didn't feel any pressure at any time. That's the way he pitches. That's the way we got to get our hitters to hit.
Yeah. Did he pull out his one iron when he played golf with you?
No, did he have one iron?
He has a one iron.
Yeah, I played golf with him in Atlanta. Lord, he hits it a long way.
I didn't know they still had one iron.
I didn't either. Lagares bunts foul, and it's 0-1. That's trying to get a runner in scoring position and get the early lead. The Phillies got the early lead in last night's ball game, and after the Mets tied it, Phillies retook the lead and didn't look back. No balls, one strike to Lagares. 0 for 4 last night. 0 for his last 12 in his last 3 games. And he lifts that one to shallow right. And Jeff Francoeur has it lined up. Time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's game. Matt, why don't you start?
All right. My key is Herrera. Stop overswinging and getting back to making solid contact. I think the last few games he's been getting a little too big. So let's get back to hitting one-on-one.
And me?
And you?
It's rough time. Ryan Sandberg is giving Darren Ruff every chance now to assert himself as a regular player on this ball club. In spring training, I pushed hard for Darren to get a lot of time. I would like to have seen him having answered this question already, but it looks like they're going to answer it right now. Can Darren Ruff handle on a daily basis major league pitching?
Yeah, this is his 6th consecutive start as Duda pops one up toward Freddie Galvis. It's short. So 2 outs. Well, I think a lot of fans feel the same way that you do, Mike, that they want to see Darren Ruff get an opportunity, kind of like he did a few years ago when he hit double digits home runs.
The reason he's so valuable in my book, and you'll agree with me, is he's the one right-handed guy in our organization. Maikel Franco, of course, might be the other one at some point, but right now he's the only power right-handing hitter that we have that's, I want to say, young. I know Mr. Francoeur is asserting himself now, but Darren is, I think, a 25 to 30 home run guy, given 500, 550 at-bats in this ballpark for sure. And I've been pushing for it like crazy, and now we're going to get our chance to see if it's a reality.
Yeah, and they've opened it up a little bit by putting Revere in right field so they can put him out in left from time to time, let him play first against left-handers. Inside to Kadire, it's 2-0.
Well, I didn't expect to see him in the lineup against Matt Harvey. Actually, I did not expect it. So to prove the point, Ryan Howard put him right in there.
Yeah.
Ryan Sandberg. I'm sorry.
Well, Howard might have put him in there as well.
Outside corner, 2-1. Kadire 1 for 4 with a run scored last night.
We got a nice defensive team out here in the infield tonight with the three musketeers, I call them.
3 Venezuelan natives. Down the right field line, that should slice out of play, and it does. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big Ted Barrett's behind the plate. He's the crew chief tonight. Chris Conroy's over at first. Angel Hernandez at second, and Scott Barry is around at third.
One more thing on Ruff. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. Now, a couple years ago, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he hit 35 in the minor leagues and came up and had a great call up, right, when he came up here, and then somewhere around 40 there's a
little loop out to center field, a base hit. Granderson will stop at second base. He had 38 home runs in 2012.
Right.
And then came up here to the big club, hit 3. But then the following year had 14.
Okay. And then got hurt, right? In spring training, didn't break his wrist.
In
running into a wall
in 2013.
That was last year. He got injured last year, running into a wall.
He got injured last year. That's right.
So he's had a tough go after having shown everybody that he should be in their plans, and then he had a nasty injury.
Yeah, 2013 he also battled some injuries too, which is why he never came up to play for the Phils. 1 ball and no strikes to Daniel Murphy. Murphy playing third base again as the Mets try to piece an infield together without David Wright. There's a fastball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Daniel Murphy so far 3 for 19 against the Phillies this year. In there again, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So that's crafty right there, Matt. See how every now and then he quick pitches it, and then he holds it for a while, and then he varies his delivery, the timing of his delivery. That's a good thing to watch, and it's just, kind of, Sutcliffe was that way. He used to play with the hitter's mind by standing out there holding the ball.
Now towards center field, Herrera is there, and he goes back a few steps, puts it away. And the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. Aaron Harang with a 16-pitch first inning. Phillies offense will go to work when we return. Philadelphia Phillies, for some reason, and it doesn't matter what the lineup is, he seems to be able to handle the Phillies starting 9. We'll see if they can figure him out here tonight in game 2 of this series. He's marking off his landing point. Now let's take a look at the Phillies lineup that he'll face tonight. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Revere, Galvis, and Ruff followed by Jeff Francoeur, Cesar Hernandez, and Carlos Ruiz. At the bottom third of Herrera, Blanco, and Aaron Harang. 28-year-old Jonathan Neese is 2-2 on the year. As you see Ben Revere wandering out toward home plate, hoping to get this offense started. Neese is among the league leaders in earned run average at 2.40. 19 strikeouts in 30 innings of work.
He's also coming off a very good outing his last one on May 2nd. 7 innings, gave up 1 run, and ended up losing 1-0 to Nats' Gio Gonzalez.
Yeah, the two lefties, they were dealing that day.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, Ben Revere, 264, no homers, 9 runs batted in. Since his average hit 180 on April 25th. Revere is hitting 365. He has 19 hits and 52 at-bats. Slaps it out toward shortstop. Tejada sits back on it and throws him out, 1 away. Well, that'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. And Murph, we talked about Galvis during the open. He's had himself pretty special starts.
Yeah, and we'll continue to talk about him because he has been a real bright spot in this Phillies offense. You know, it's just about this time of the year when guys start to cross over that 100 at-bat mark, and that's a real, the first benchmark for a lot of these hitters about what kind of season they're having. And for Freddie Galvis, well, the question is, where does he stack up against the other shortstops in Major League Baseball? The big question was his offense. Well, how about tops? After about a month of play at 351, the batting average. Troy Tulowitzki out of Colorado is second at 313. He's also second in hits in all of Major League Baseball with 34 hits behind just Echeverria down there in Miami, and tops in on-base percentage in the National League. So doing what he needs to do in that 2-hole or that 8-hole, whatever Ryan has put them so far this season, guys.
A little out front on that one for the second out. He's never going to rank among the leaders in power numbers, but he doesn't need to.
Yeah, and I don't even want him to think that he can. No. That's one of the keys. Is if you'd watched his batting practice today, you'd have seen, I don't know what you'd call it, the most lazy, pathetic, poking ground balls around the infield BP that I've ever seen. But that kind of a BP could only come from somebody that says, "Don't worry about me. I'm getting him in the game."
He's retired by Tejada for the second out of the inning as Darren Ruff fouls the 0-1 away. It's 0-2. Darren Ruff 1 for 8 against Jonathan Neese. Small sample size. Up high, 1-2.
Boy, it's tough to hit when you have 0-2. When you're in a 0-2 count as often as Darren is, isn't it?
It is. Especially when you take that first pitch, you get the second pitch to hit and you foul it off. Seems like you're always in a battle mode.
See his numbers against left-handers this year. He has more at-bats against righties than lefties. Got it in on him. And it was a cutter. And Michael Kadire out in left field will come into shallow left to put it away. An easy inning for Neese. Phillies go down 1-2-3 through only 11 pitches. We'll head to the second here in Philadelphia. No score. 18 and older. There's the wristlet right there. You can order your tickets for tomorrow's finale of this series by going to Phillies.com. Hope everybody takes care of Mom tomorrow. Here's Kevin Plawecki to lead it off here in the second. First pitch is a breaking ball down. It's 1-0. Former first-round pick in 2012, supplemental pick by the New York Mets. He's hit in 7 consecutive games. Got a play, and it's 1-1.
Now that I think about it, Rick Sutcliffe is a good comparison.
I didn't think about it until you mentioned it. I think it's a good comparison, too.
Very similar size, release point.
Kind of a lazy windup.
Yeah.
A likable guy like Sutcliffe is.
Yep. Sutcliffe, a lot of outs were in the air. Didn't get a lot of ground balls.
Harang's a good golfer. Sutcliffe is a bad golfer.
Well, there's the difference. 1-2 pitch in the air to left field. Should be playable for Ben Revere. He took a peek to see where Herrera was, and there's one out.
Don't tell him I said that.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard. The Braves and the Nationals. The Nationals have won it 8-6 on Bryce Harper's 2-run home run. It's his 3rd career walk-off, and he has had an unbelievable week. 6
home runs in 3 games.
Wow.
Well, we've been waiting. We've been waiting for this guy to, to have a year.
There's a liner out towards center field. Herrera comes running in, makes the catch. Well, the Nationals, with that victory, are now over the 500 mark. They're 3 games behind the Mets, who, of course, lead the National League East. So
Bryce Harper has been getting in that zone of hitting home runs. He had 3 home runs the other day, 2 yesterday, 1 today. I wonder how long he stood at home plate today to admire that home run for the walk-off. Because he can stand there for a while and admire some home runs.
Well, how about this? Carl Graber, our statistician, has come up with this one that he's located on the internet. He's the first player since E. Sop Choi in 2005. Remember him?
Yeah.
Big Dodger. 6 home runs in 3 games. Dodger and Cub. E. Sop Choi.
Huh.
1 strike to Ruben Tejada.
Big left-handed hitter from Korea.
Yeah. At the knees. Aesop had 6 home runs in 3 games. And of course, that's what Harper's done. So Harper had 5 and 2. You've done that before, haven't you, Michael?
Sure.
I could probably ask both of you if you've done that before.
I haven't.
Who hadn't?
I haven't.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Tejada, who's starting tonight for Wilmer Flores because he's 6 for 16 against Aaron Harang. Chops it foul. Boy, we've seen how many baseballs skip off the dugouts the last couple of weeks. That poor lady in Atlanta, that ball that skipped off the dugout and her square in the forehead. Another foul ball, remains 2-2.
Harang's what you call sneaky fast in the game. That's what we call a pitcher like Harang, with very, very little effort in his release, but the ball gets right on you. Sneaky fast.
Short arms the ball. It's like he's throwing darts.
Just missed with that breaking ball, and it's full 3-2. And a line drive base hit through the middle. Actually, it was a line drive until it hit the mound. Then it became a ground ball through the middle. No harm, no foul, though. Jonathan Neese, the pitcher, is coming up. So if Harang can get him, it's not a big deal.
always trying to figure out why people thought, well, it's nice to get that 8th guy out because now you have the pitcher leading off. Who cares? He's got to hit eventually anyway. I mean, I understand. Yeah, it's nice.
You know the answer to that one.
But I mean, I'd rather
want to get that one out the next inning.
Right.
You start off.
But I'd rather have the 8-hole hitter get a base hit than all of a sudden you're going after him and hits a home run and then you have the pitcher behind him.
Well, that's another thing there. If your 8-hole hitter can hit a home run, I guess Tejada can hit a home run, but most pitchers feel if they can't get that 8-hole hitter out, they shouldn't be in the big leagues.
Our 8-hole hitter for a while was hitting 350 in the big leagues.
Well, I'm talking about the pitcher's mindset. I can get this guy out. He's hitting 8th.
Right.
And there will be a time where the pitcher's a better hitter than the 8th-hole hitter.
There are certain games where that is true.
Not very often.
Well, I don't want to give you examples because I respect hitters too much.
Well, Cole Hamels is a pretty good hitter. 3 hits so far as a pitcher this season.
So you're saying there's some pitchers that are better than the 8-hole hitters?
Well, yes.
I'll disagree. 100%. You tell me one pitcher who's a better hitter than any position player hitting 8th. Then I'll stand corrected. I'll even buy you a Canadian
I'll
beer.
take a 5th on that.
What about Babe Ruth?
I'd be disrespecting somebody I know, probably.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Jonathan Neese, who has 42 hits during his big league career. 2 this season. And a call, strike 3. 2-seamer, got him. First strikeout for Orang. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here in Philadelphia. Check it out at breakfastonbroad.com and wake up with Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement Institute, weekday mornings from 6 until 8 over on the Comcast Network. Bottom of the second. The Mets have sent 9 to the plate through 2. The Phillies sent 3 in their half of the first. Matt, we never did get to the Budweiser scouting report.
No, we didn't. The Budweiser scouting report. He's a 5-pitch pitcher, and he really relies, Jonathan Neese, on the ground ball. He's not a fly ball pitcher. 66% of the time he has ground ball outs. So he relies on that late movement.
Well, and that held true in the first inning.
Yep.
2 ground ball outs and then the fly out. So.
And then on the reverse side, you look at Aaron Harang. He has the lowest percentage of ground ball outs.
Jim Francoeur leads it off and takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Francoeur.
Speaking of hot hitters.
5 for his last 7 in his last week.
Isn't he 5 for his last 5?
5 for his last 5. Fly ball right center field. Granderson is out there. I was doing a little foreshadowing.
We'll stop that.
I didn't mean to, though. Yeah, there's 1 out. He said something interesting, though, the other day, and I guess this is the point he is at his career. He said it's important to him to be out there and be successful, but he said, I really need to be successful against left-handers. My role is, as a right-hander, to be able to hit lefties like Jonathan East. That's my priority right now.
That's why I think he was
great.
signed
I mean,
for.
so he's a great teammate. He understands what ultimately his role is.
Cesar bunts toward third, picked up by Murphy.
Found that ball a little hard, as we could see, but still, if you make that third baseman barehand the ball, and I don't know if that was a barehand play. He's not your regular third baseman, but I'll tell you what, I take my chances if I know the third baseman's going to try to barehand the ball. He could have gloved that ball and been safe. He could have played that into a hit very easily. But good play.
It's not often you see the number 5 hitter, but he's not your prototypical number 5 hitter.
Yeah, this is a very creative lineup here tonight.
Very creative. Carlos Ruiz 1 for 3 last night. Takes a strike, 0-1. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Carl Schaefer of Wyomissing. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, and Carl will win $100. Big curve.
The pitchers will like having Ted Barrett, the home plate umpire. Very good umpire. Pitchers umpire.
Down the right field line. Foul.
I was watching the game, the Billingsley game on TV. I thought, boy, that umpire squeezed him that night. In fact, right before, I thought he had, what's his name, Johnson playing third base. I thought he had him struck out right before the home run. Remember that pitch?
Yep.
It was kind of a little bit of a backdoor breaking ball that might have been belt high, maybe. He called it a ball. In fact, Billingsley took a step off the mound toward the dugout, and then I believe in that at bat, it was when he hit the home run, it kind of put the game away.
I actually thought the umpires, I don't know if you agreed with this, Matt. We talked about it a little bit, but I thought the umpires, with their strike zones, I think they struggled all 3 games.
They did, and it seemed like they were giving up on pitches early. Pitch was coming in and think it was going to be a high. It was a late curveball or backdoor slider.
And real quickly on that, speaking of a bad call, your boy Ted Barrett, the Atlanta camera. You know, the Atlanta camera seems to be high center field. You know what I mean? The angle.
Yep. Every angle's different. Ted Barrett liked the angle on that one as we finish up the second. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, men. What MLB team originally signed Bartolo Colon as an amateur free agent in 1993? Well, he really did lay a foundation with this team when he was a hard-throwing right-hander. Matt and Mike have both written down the same answer in a different way. Curtis Granderson will lead it off in the third. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. We will see Bartolo Colon tomorrow against Chad Billingsley. Ground ball foul. 2 balls and 1 strike to Granderson. Little floater out towards shallow right center field. Hernandez gives way to Herrera. That man does cover a lot of ground out there, doesn't he?
Well, go ahead, Mike.
I was just thinking the same 3 words: cover a lot of ground. The same words were in my brain when you said them.
Well, I was kind of watching Hernandez because he ended up getting a tremendous jump from second base.
Yeah.
And he could have caught that ball, but Herrera, what I like about the outfield this year, a lot of communication in the outfield.
Lagares takes upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes.
Ben's been very good playing all 3. You know, he went to right field, did a nice job out there. He's actually shown a little arm improvement this year too.
I think he's got to be given a lot of credit for being able to go to all 3 outfield positions. I don't know if it's a big deal. I mean, Matt, you played the outfield. I mean, he's got to be given a lot of credit to be able to move the way he's moving.
Well, and, I mean, he's a very good outfielder. We saw it last year. Made some great plays last year. Covers a lot of ground.
Galvis on the left side.
I've never played the outfield, but I can imagine reading the ball off of the bat in a different place every night would be tough. You know, you're used to a right-handed hitter ball coming to right field with some slice on it, right? And you go to the left field, it's got some hook on it.
Yeah.
Did you ever go out and shag some fly balls?
Oh, sure. But I mean, I've never played the outfield in a competitive game where you had to catch the ball. We used to always make fun of of the outfield. Anybody catch a fly ball?
Duda popped out to short his first time up. Inside.
Try catching a line drive coming out of a whole bunch of different colored shirts in the stands and lights, and batter takes a big swing at it, and it looks like a home run, and it turns out to be, well, I can't say what I was going to say. A DF just over the infield, or a Texas leaguer.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
You have a lot of names for those broken bat hits in the big league.
Off the hands, out toward the middle. Blanco, the third baseman, is shaded there. 5-3 on the putout. And the Mets go down in order here in the third. So we played 2.5. Gorgeous night for baseball here in Philadelphia. Great crowd settling in. Phillies. Buy Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. And buy Papa John's. The day after every Phillies win, get 50% off your regular menu price online. Order using promo code Phillies at papajohns.com. Well, the sun is setting here in the east. See the NovaCare complex on the horizon there. As Odubel Herrera will lead things off. Last 16 at-bats for Herrera. He has struck out 8 times, and that goes to what Matt's point was during his keys, is to try to shorten up his swing a little bit, work to contact.
I have no problems in wanting to take a big hack, but especially versus left-handers, he's got to try to calm his body down a little bit. He's getting out there and he wants to attack, and I think they've found a little weakness right now. Soft is better versus him right now until he makes the adjustment.
It was a good take right there. I mean, he has trouble taking that pitch, though, with 2 strikes.
He does.
Well, anybody would. That was a pretty major league curveball.
Ball was moving pretty good there. The throw to first in time, just in time. Herrera's looking over toward the dugout. Boy, that last little stretch of his leg, it made it really close.
Yeah, it was a nice play by Tejada. On the run. He got it.
He did get him.
That's the worst. You run that hard, you think you're just about to get there.
That's a great camera work right there. Slow-mo with that stretch to the bag.
That was a heck of an extension by Herrera on that big step. Here's Blanco. It takes outside. It's 1-0. Andres, a .348 career hitter against the Mets, and he pulls that one toward third, knocked down and then kicked by Murphy. I don't know how they'll score that one.
Oh, you're going to give it a hit.
That was interesting. I was sort of keying on Murphy pre-pitch during the windup, and he started up like to prevent the bunt and then backpedaled about 5 steps.
He comes up high on him here right now.
Yeah, he probably has the second baseman's glove over there. Third baseman usually have a little bit bigger glove. He just, just missed it. But we'll take it.
It is the first hit of the night for the Phillies as Herrera tries to bunt, and he pulled the bat back according to the first base umpire, Chris Conroy. 1 ball, no strikes. He's been one of the best bunters for the Phils so far.
His relaxed style of play, I think, helps him a great deal when it comes to putting down a sacrifice bunt.
I agree.
Ooh, he's even going to do a little, what do they call it? Butcher boy?
Yeah,
Where'd that name come from?
I don't know. I like that because Duda and Murphy are both charging. So right now they have a set play where Nice is holding for probably 1001, 1002. Duda takes off, realizing that Herrera might not be the quickest runner. I say that with a lot of respect. But if he gets the ball down, you still might be able to roll a double play.
Calling card over to first, maybe to see if Herrera hints about what he's going to do.
Or sets up the next play. Same thing, he's going to hold for a couple seconds and then give a chance for Duda to charge. Or throw over again. Well, Freddie Galvis stole 2 bases last night, and they caught them sleeping both times.
And Herrera, he chops it. He didn't know if he should bunt at it, and at the last moment he decided to make contact, and he is a strikeout victim.
There's no argument, I guess. It had a little look of a swing, even though his hands were separated on the bat.
See, I mean,
Watch this. Can you argue that this is a swing?
Oh, he shows.
Watch. Boom, a swing.
No, that's a bunt.
It's interesting. I don't know if you could.
No, that's
apparently not, because they're not.
That's a bunt.
He's a little too relaxed for me.
Revere takes a strike. It's 0-1. Well, either way, I guess it's not reviewable because it's a foul ball. Revere grounded out his first time up. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think if he would have slid his hand down,
yeah, you're right.
Then it's totally different.
I think that's all of the umpire's discretion on that one. Three balls and 1 strike to Revere.
We had a lot of discussion about Ben Revere in spring training, and Steve Henderson, the Phillies hitting coach, was always in Ben's corner, no matter what we said. He didn't have very good spring.
No, and it carried over to the month of April too.
And, yeah, I know. And Steve assured us he's a notoriously slow starter. He seldom has a good spring. Guy got 184 hits last year. I'm not sure.
184, yeah.
That number was thrown around a few times in spring. And he's sure right on the Henderson schedule right now.
Well, and Matt, you were talking about his trigger. The elbows. Everybody has a different trigger.
They're doing it. And I sat down for a few minutes and talked to him today about it. And I said, "You slapping your elbows together and your forearms, is that your timing mechanism?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "When that goes right, and I slap my elbows together, now all of a sudden I go with the hitch. My foot gets a separation from my hands. I get down early, and it helps out."
Not a bad thing for your golf swing either. Keep those elbows together.
Galvis grounded out his first time up. He takes a pitch on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Foot almost out of the batter's box. Wide open stance. Just off the outer edge.
Be nice to get an early lead versus Nice because he's been very stingy on 5 starts this year. Last 4 to 5 starts, only 1 earned run has been allowed.
Off the end of the bat, he got him on his front foot. And Herrera will give way to Granderson, and the side is retired. So the Phils do get a couple on base. They get their first hit of the evening, but they do not score. So on to the 4th inning here in South Philly. Mason offers free same-day delivery of 5-gallon Blizzard spring water bottles with no minimums or hidden fees. Well, this is the way a baseball game should feel. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful out. I mean, there are clouds that are rolling in, but temperature today was, well, it was cool in the morning, but then it got up to 80 degrees in the Delaware Valley. Michael Kadire will lead things off as we go to the fourth. Kadire grounds one foul past Tim Tuffle, and it's 0-1. A little low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Aaron Harang has gone at least 6 innings in all 6 starts so far for the Phils. He gets Kadire to hit one out toward right center field. Herrera calls off Francoeur, 1 away. Daniel Murphy's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, it's time for our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, and Aaron Harang is the subject. He is celebrating his 37th birthday today. It's the 3rd time that Harang has pitched on his birthday. Did it in 05 and 09. He's looking to be the first Phillies pitcher to win a game on his birthday since Kyle Kendrick did it back in 2007 in a lopsided win against the Padres. You remember that, right, Tom?
I do remember that.
I knew you would.
14 runs here at Citizens Bank Park. No balls and 1 strike. You got to do well on your birthday. You have to.
Is there anything they don't keep track of these days?
Not these days, no. Ground ball toward the hole. That's a base hit for Murphy. So he's aboard with 1 out.
That was a good pitch. You got to give Murphy credit right there. He followed that ball down to the ground and just touched it between first and second.
It was almost like he was really fooled with the pitch. He hits himself in the back of the helmet before he starts to swing and just really drops the barrel to the ball.
Essentially, Harang got him out, but the ball went through the infield.
A little luck
Crazy
for the
game,
hitter.
isn't it?
Crazy game. Plawecki flied out to left his first time up. Inside, 1-0.
You ever look at hitters' stances and try to say, well, where does this guy's stance tell me he wants the ball? This is what the pitcher thinks sometimes, right?
Pitcher
when you
catcher,
see this
right?
guy's stance,
Inner half.
you think he's saying, I like it in, by where he's standing in the batter's
If I look
box.
at his stance, I would think that he's looking for the ball inner half.
Basically, a hitter closer to the plate is fearless on the inside pitches. He's inviting the pitcher to pitch him in by standing there.
It looks like he's going to go in on this 1-1 pitch. Missed his spot. It was a strike, and it's 1-2.
And very hittable for that. For him, that pitch there, it was, outer third, knee-high fastball or cutter. Pitchers most of the time are going to leave the ball on the inside corner over the plate when they're trying to pitch you in.
Yes.
In the dirt, 2-2.
Schmitty, back when you were playing a few years ago, did right-handers throw you guys changeups?
Not very often.
Not very often, did they?
No. I think back to right-handers changeups. I think the right-hander.
Beautiful pitch.
And the reason why you asked that, because the pitch prior to that one was a changeup. And you just see it more and more throughout baseball now with right-handers throwing right-hander changeup. I mean, this was set up from the pitch before. Doing a changeup, now you come back with a perfect fastball low and away.
I'll tell you how often that happened when I played changeups from right-handers. I can only think of one pitcher that threw one, Andy Messersmith,
who had such a good one.
Oh, known for it. Crazy good changeup. Almost a Cole Hamels changeup. I mean, a Cole Hamels changeup from a right-handed pitcher. Now, a lot of left-handers obviously throw them. That's why they were in the big leagues, because they had, big time changeup.
Big hop for Freddie Galvis. Little toss to his friend Cesar Hernandez. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. And 1 man left. Terang through 4. Hoping for a little offense. Maybe some cotton candy. You never know. At ChevyDealer.com and by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Bottom of the 4th inning, Mets nothing, Phillies nothing. Mets have 4 hits. The Phillies have 1 hit. It was the ball off the bat of Andres Blanco. But they have 3, 4, and 5 due up against Jonathan Nice. And our friends at Bloomberg have given us the breakdown of Nice in his last 6 starts against the Phillies. See 50% fastballs. Well, he's right on pace for that tonight. He's 23 of the 40 pitches he's thrown. And make that 23 of the 41 pitches he's thrown have been fastballs.
Well, I don't think that's unusual. I mean, he's basically a crafty left-hander, right?
Yeah.
Pitches backwards.
Out towards shallow center. Lagares is there. So 1 out here in the 4th. Phillies fans, next time you're looking for great seats, get to StubHub, where there are no surprise fees at checkout. That's right. On StubHub, the price you see is the price you pay. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Phillies.com. Francoeur fly to right his first time up. Takes inside, 1-0.
A stat I found very interesting today while I was looking at Jonathan Nice's numbers was fastballs. Opponents were hitting 219 coming into today. His 4 other pitches, his slider, changeup, his curveball, and his split finger, or changeup, whatever he throws. He has 5 pitches, were 333 or higher. All of them. So the average on, his changeup was 4-something. His slider was 333. His curveball was over 400. It's amazing how he has that good of a record and those bad of a numbers with the secondary pitches. But his fastball is his go pitch 219.
Well, it is remarkable since his earned run average is a 2.16.
It's crazy.
Well, you look back at Darren Ruff's at bat right here before Francoeur is the batter now.
Francoeur is struck out.
It was a tough breaking ball in the dirt there. But you look at Francoeur or Ruff's at bat prior to that. Disguised his changeup, first pitch, and Ruff topped it over third, almost down the line for a double, and then fastball right there, boom, fly ball to center field. You're saying he's getting hitters out with fastballs.
Exactly.
Chopper to third. And right there, a fastball at 89, and helps him retire the Phillies in order for the 3rd time in tonight's game. All right, so 4 in the books. Not a whole lot of offense for either team. answer. All right, guys, tomorrow's starting pitcher Bartolo Colon. Who was he originally signed with as an amateur free agent in 1993? You both wrote it down.
Go ahead, Smitty.
Well, he wrote down Indians.
He did, and you wrote down
Cleveland.
You're both correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. We go to the top of the 5th inning. And Ruben Tejada will take a breaking ball for strike 1. Tejada singled his first time up. He was the everyday shortstop for a couple of years. He's not the everyday shortstop anymore, but he rips that one down the left field line. And who knows, he could be hitting his way back into the starting lineup. Tejada will go to second, so he has a single and a double in tonight's game.
Well, there's an example of a guy standing right on top of home plate, wanting the ball in, and gets one in. I'll show you that one again. I mean, he gets a fastball in and just rips it over first base. See that? Boom. Stand close to the plate, you want it in.
Just got to be ready for it, and he was. Well, now Nice is no doubt up there to sacrifice. He has 26 in his career, at least to attempt to sacrifice. Takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Terry Collins, as under fire as he was his second and third year, he seems to have gotten the dogs off his heels with the start the Mets are on, 18 and 11. He bunts it toward third, Nice does, and it trickles foul, and it's 1-1.
Schmitty, when you guys were in spring training and you were help coaching, were you strictly doing the hitting, or were you helping out with defensive plays as well? Like today,
well, I was right now. I'd be standing down, chatting with the third baseman during this play. I think he would have had a play there. We've taken a good throw. Probably at this point of the ball game, better to get the out. No, I don't run the drills or anything like that. We couldn't have a better, 2 better guys than Ryan Sandberg and Larry Boa running those drills. I kind of stay out of it, but I do chat with the third baseman about where to play and some of the nuances of that play that I think maybe I might have in my bag of tricks that they might not. I always believed in going to the pitcher and telling him verbally what the play was. In spring training we have a series of signs.
Right.
But I always believe in verbally telling the pitcher what he's supposed to do and challenging him to get the ball, come off the mound toward third base. Anyway, that's what I did.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. I know you guys like to talk hitting, but from your standpoint, Schmitty, did you like to talk to these guys about defense? I mean, was that something you enjoyed going over?
I like to talk to anybody about anything. In fact, I was usually hunting somebody to talk to about something.
.66 pitches so far for Harang. And the 2-1 coming to Granderson. Inside, 3-1. They're really trying to get him on the inside part of the plate. A couple of fastballs, now a slider. Lagares is on deck.
It's interesting philosophy here now, Matt, Tom. This was 5th inning, playing the infield in.
So we're going to miss with a changeup. I guess that's the respect they have of Nice's abilities against the Phillies.
Well, and it is. And I think, I said the numbers earlier. Nice has only allowed just 1 earned run. As you see, a really nice changeup right there. 4 of his last 5 starts. So you need to put up a goose egg. You don't want to give an easy ground ball up the middle for an easy RBI. So I think they're doing the right thing right here.
Inside ball 4. So Granderson's aboard. Now let's see what they do with the double play in order. Citizens Bank Weather Education Day presented by NBC 10 First Alert Weather is this Thursday when the Phillies take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. After the ball game, it's a senior stroll the bases. You can get tickets for all 4 games in the Pirates series by heading to Phillies.com 24/7.
Well, the play here is third baseman. If the ball's hit to you slow or to your right, you stop the run from scoring. If it's hit firmly to your left, you go to second around the horn, inning over. Guys up the middle are in, at double play depth. They're playing for 2 all the way.
Oh, what a pitch. Right around the mound. Galvis is going to take charge.
What the doctor ordered right there.
Sure was.
Good fastball and get the pop up. Pop up with a strikeout or the ground ball.
This is what you call the good old-fashioned home run up an elevator shaft. Straight up. That was a good pitch. Actually, it was an elevated changeup.
No one cares. The only thing that changes is occasionally some fan will send you a nice cake that they usually throw on the floor. They do something bad with.
Neese through 5 scoreless innings has himself a 1-0 lead.
Fly ball out to center field. Odubel Herrera is under it and will make the catch. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Well, we apologize for the technical difficulties. First the overall difficulties and then the audio. Everybody's okay. There was a transformer issue in our truck bay where the production cavity is. We want to thank the folks at SNY for allowing us to use their video feed for at least an inning here at Citizens Bank Park. What you've missed is that the Mets scored an unearned run in their half of the 5th inning. The Phillies had an error on second baseman Cesar Hernandez, and then in the bottom of the 5th inning the Phillies did not do anything against Jonathan Neese. So here we are, top of the 6th inning, 2 outs, and Aaron Harang has allowed an unearned run. We've had that issue at times during spring training, but we very rarely have any kind of an issue like that during the regular season here at Citizens Bank Park. But as we mentioned, everybody is okay down at the production cavity, and that's the good news. 2 balls and no strikes to Ruben Tejada. Tejada is 2 for 2. He has singled and doubled. Fly ball left center field. That's pretty well hit. Herrera says he's got it on the track, makes the catch, and an easy 6th inning for Aaron Harang. So we've completed 5.5 here in Philadelphia. On to the bottom of the 6th. The Mets. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. By Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. And by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit delvalhondadealers.com today. Bottom of the 6th inning. Ashburn Alley's pretty crowded tonight, as is the ballpark. Nice crowd for a Saturday night here in Philadelphia. See the Mets bullpen. Guys are stretching, keeping their legs loose. Although Jonathan Neese is only at 59 pitches, Aaron Harang is essentially in the same boat. Not as low, but both have pitched very well here tonight. And both have basically been right on cue, right, Matt? I mean, Harang, a lot of fly ball outs, and Neese, a lot of ground ball outs.
Yeah, Harang's got 13 outs in the year. And he's #1 in baseball of not getting ground ball outs. Neese has been getting a lot of, he's got some strikeouts, some ground balls, some fly outs, so both have pitched really, really well.
One ball, 1 strike to Revere. Curve ball outside, 2-1.
Yeah, both pitchers doing just what they're known for. Harang with that sneaky fastball that gets on top of the hitter's bats, and Neese changing speeds, pitching a little backwards, good changeup, getting a lot of ground balls.
And the throw pulls Duda off the bag, and Revere is safe at first. That'll be an E4, the first major league error for Dilson Herrera.
Both second basemen making a key error in this game right there. You got to credit Ben Revere. This team hustles. This team, and Chase, I think, is one of the reasons for that. I think he sets a standard on this team for You won't see anyone on this team not run 100% to first base, and there's Ben right there with his speed. Even though he thought it was an out, 99 out of 100 times it's going to be an out, but his hustle let him beat it easily.
And Herrera looked like he never really had a grip as Galvis floats one to right. And there's one away. Revere thought about tagging, but got back just a little too late. And Granderson still has pretty good arm. So one out here in the 6th.
Well, there's Freddie. He's 0 for 3 tonight after all that buildup we gave him in the pregame. You almost don't like to talk about him. You're asking for trouble.
With 2 fly ball outs tonight.
Yeah. Remember those highlights? Line drive to right field.
Were you down there today telling him to back leg everything? Is that what
no, heck no.
Here's Darren Ruff. He's 0 for 2. He's fly to left, fly to center.
Well, let's see one of our keys to my key to the game come alive right here.
Yeah, the Phillies only have 2 hits tonight, and both are by Andres Blanco. A toss over to first, and Revere gets back. Ben's been a little quiet on the base paths.
You know, a hit and run in this at bat's not the worst thing in the world. I know Darren's your 3-hole hitter, but forcing him to hit down on that ball. Oh, there it was, too.
Ruff goes. The throw is high. Revere goes. Throw is high. And Ben is safe at second base.
Managed to hold that bag with that head first slide, too. It almost went off the back.
6 of 8 now with his stolen bases. And they have really run on Plawecki tonight or in the series.
Well, they have. And Ben got a tremendous jump. And I mean, really, you like to see the catcher. Yeah, you show the respect by throwing it, but really had no chance. And Ben doing a nice job of keeping that foot on the base.
Outside corner, 1-2 to Ruff.
And Mike, you made a great point about doing a hit and run. As a hitter, your thought process is gone. You don't think anymore. You just want to make contact. And it's surprising how hard you hit the ball when you do a hit and run.
And a line drive base hit it to center field. Revere took a peek at it. He's going to be held at third. Lagares' throw comes flying right to the catcher.
And Lagares is following it in here just to let you know how good his arm is. He ran all the way almost into second base. But great hitting by Darren Ruff. There we go. Nice to see him square up that ball with a man in scoring position. But that's how hard that ball was hit. Ben Revere couldn't score on it.
He actually got a pretty good jump.
Yeah.
And Pete did the right thing right here of holding him up. Tell you what, he came up and he fired a missile to home right there on the money.
Well, he splashed onto the scene last year, basically, and became a Gold Glove center fielder in maybe 3/4 of a season. And then he really turned the heads of everybody because of his jumps and because of his arm.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking in baseball that he is the best center fielder out there right now.
They liken him, not offensively, but they liken him defensively to a young Carlos Beltran when he was with the Kansas City Royals and he was playing center field. Certainly not offensively.
No, but that's a good comparison.
There's Francoeur. Francoeur is 0 for 2. He's flied to right and he is struck out. Tying run is at third. I challenged him with a fastball. To right center field. Granderson is there. Makes the catch. Tagging for third is Revere. He's going to score. And we are tied up at 1.
Well, that's good hitting by Jeff going to right field. Prevent that rollover ground ball. I question that pitch selection by the Mets. 3 straight fastballs to Francoeur.
Especially when he came back with a 2-seamer. Missed the spot. But Mike, you made a great point. Thinking big part of the field, drive the ball left center, right center, and stay away from that roll over to third base.
Cesar Hernandez swung at ball 1. Changeup It's a good changeup on the first pitch. And that's pitching backwards right there.
Yeah, it is.
A line drive towards center field, and that'll drop for. Oh, man. Darren Ruff will stop at second. I guess
that's good play by Lagares. Ball must have skidded on him or something.
I tell you, if he does not knock this ball down, this could be an inside the park home run because it comes up high and he knocks it down with his bare hands.
Wow.
Maybe it hit a sprinkler head or something. Yeah, that is a good play right there.
Carlos has 10 hits lifetime against Nice. 10 for 29. 0 for 2 tonight. 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. Fastball in there, 0-1.
He's 0 for 2 tonight, but his last at bat, he hit a missile to left field, and Kadire made a very nice play.
Cutter, 0-2. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser is still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you.
I find it amazing he's going to so many fastballs in these pressure at bats. 3 to Francoeur, 2. Now that's 3 in a row to Ruiz. He just wasted the third one, but I guess you get the hitter, and I know there feels like a Glavine or a Moyer. He throws quite a bit harder than those guys, but you know, you get those secondary pitches in the back of your mind. You don't want to make an easy out on one of those secondary pitches. You know, that disguised changeup or that backdoor breaking ball, something off speed. You become less effective on that fastball. He got just enough hop on. He's a little sneaky himself.
He is.
Ruiz chokes up a little bit, and he pulls that one toward third. It's a fair ball down the left field line. Ruff will score. Going to third is Hernandez. He'll be held there. An RBI double for Carlos Ruiz, and the Phillies have taken the lead.
Big 2-out hit right there. Oh, that's what you need, those good 2-out hits. He'll break, too, and he didn't get a break on his last at-bat, lining out to Kadire and left, but this ball just catches a piece of the third base bag, just over the inside of the bag.
Look at that. That's great camera work right there.
So he gets out of that at-bat after taking 2 fastballs into an 0-2 count with a 2-out double.
I'm a firm believer, though, Carlos Ruiz should always hit with 2 strikes on him because he shortens up and makes solid contact.
Some truth to that.
And you saw he choked up about maybe a half inch on the bat before that pitch came in. And now Nice will get another visit by Plawecki. Well, there are 2 more out there for the Phils. A base hit.
Would help Mike Key out and help the team out.
Yeah, well, Mike got his with Darren Ruff.
I was 2 for 2 in Keys yesterday. Pretty good.
Yes, you were.
Might be the first time. And
scream down there. Tell him to take a little off this swing. Just swing it smooth and easy.
Low, ball 2. Nice is very frustrated with himself right now. The error by Dilson Herrera is what started this inning. So these runs are unearned that Nice has given up here, just as Aaron Harang's run was unearned. Two balls, no strikes. That's a good take, boy.
You want to go back to a big pitch now. I think we were having technical difficulties at the time. Aaron Harang got Daniel Murphy to pop up with bases loaded and 2 outs during the blackout.
That's right.
Yep. Well, the fans may not have seen that. Boy, that pitch looms big right now. Getting out of that inning, only giving up 1. Following Hernandez's error.
Yeah, because prior to that out, there was that soft ground ball to Blanco. Now, nobody would have been out anyway, but he couldn't handle it. Harang made some pretty good pitches in that inning. 3 balls, 1 strike to Herrera.
Well, Matt, here comes your fastball and your smooth swing. Boom.
Well, it was a fastball. I'm not sure if it was a smooth swing or not.
What, do you challenge him fastball here again with first base open, or try to get him to chase at the risk of coming out of the game?
I think he's going to throw fastball away.
So as a hitter right here, you look away, middle away, and you go left center, right?
Swing and a miss.
He throws him a breaking ball.
That's why I would have struck out.
That's why I retired.
Second time he's gotten Herrera tonight.
That's why I wasn't allowed to play against lefties.
Phillies do take the lead on an RBI double from Carlos Ruiz. Two unearned runs at the bottom of the 6th inning. Aaron Harang has been very good. He allowed 1 unearned run through 6. He's back out there in the 7th. Meanwhile, Jonathan Neese has allowed 2 unearned runs through 6 innings. His night may be done. Nope, it's not. He's going to lead things off. Time to take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. And what we're looking at tonight are shutdown innings. The Mets lead the way. 83% of the time they shut the opposition down. Meanwhile, the Phillies are 3rd. All those teams are toward the top of their division, of course, except for the Phils. So Neese is batting, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Neese is 0 for 1, sacrifices last time up.
I admire Terry Collins for leaving Neese in the game.
I agree with him.
Give him a chance to pitch for a W. I think in most cases, managers in this situation, boy, you got a pretty good record with Neese, but would go to the bullpen.
That one
and
is
you get a base hit
yeah.
too.
I have to admit, I was programmed thinking that they were going to take him out and would be a pinch hitter. All right, so now Granderson is up. He walked his last time. He's 1 for 2.
Now here's a situation that I have a tough time with. I would play Darren Ruff at normal first base depth rather than hold the runner on.
Matt, you were a proponent of that the other day, weren't you?
I would.
Well, I mean, not to interrupt you, but you could play normal depth. I'm not talking about just patty caking your glove standing behind him. I'm talking about normal depth. Take some of that hole away from Granderson. Neese is not going to make one move towards second base until the ball's hit, right? It's not like he's going to take off and steal the base.
Right. You'd want him at least double play depth if it's like a first and second situation.
Fly ball center field. Another fly ball out potentially here. Herrera says he has it. One down. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal, and that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank.
I don't agree with, like I say, the just turning around and standing right behind him, and as I say, patting your glove.
Right.
I just said, just forget that he's even on base.
So take 5 or 6 steps back.
Yeah, just play your normal position.
Yeah. Lagares is 0 for 3. 2 pop-ups and a fly out. Takes pitch down low. 1-0.
I don't think it matters that much with a right-handed hitter, but with Granderson for sure.
That ball is well hit, and it's not coming back. A 2-run home run for Lagares, and now the Mets have taken the lead 3-2. First home run of the year for Lagares.
Yeah, that was a big-time home run right there.
There was a cutter that stayed up in the zone and
got the bat flip. Everybody knew that one was out. 15-20 rows up.
Yeah, he's mad at himself. It's now Lucas Duda, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Reached on an error his last time. Fly ball left field, playable for Revere. Oh, 8 for his last 16 from the 7th inning on. He had been 0 for his previous 16 before that home run.
Well, that's the pitch. You know, that's the pitch he's been getting guys to fly out on right there. This Lagares is a little more top hand on that ball, leveled out on the high pitch. If you don't do that, you get the fly ball.
The ball's 1 strike to Kadire. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Well, he's made Kadire look bad on a couple of swings. Even though he got 2 base hits, but this guy almost led the league in hitting a year or 2 ago, didn't he?
He did, actually, 2013. Chopper over to third. Blanco backs up on it. Little spin move. Side is retired. However, the Mets take the lead on Juan Lagares' 2-run home run. So as we stretch here in Philadelphia, Phils will have to play from behind again. swing with Matt Harvey. Cole took the bat with confidence and kept Mets hitters off balance the entire night. His location was precise for 7 solid innings, allowing just 4 hits and only 1 extra base hit. The Mets went down on strikes 8 times, 7 times swinging. Hamels bested the undefeated Harvey with 60% first pitch strikes in his best performance of the season. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Cole Hamels was outstanding last night as the Phillies took game 1 of the series against the Mets. Now they're going to have to find a hero as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here tonight. They trail it 3-2. And Andres Blanco will lead it off. We mentioned that the Mets left in Jonathan Nice, and he was able to reach on a single in the 7th inning. Blanco's 2 for 2, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
And Nice, that's only his 85th pitch of the game. So hats off to Collins for leaving him in last inning, in the 7th inning, to hit.
Fly ball center field. Lagares is playing shallow. Now he goes sprinting back, and he makes the catch. Well, our Geico quote of the day, we talked about Jonathan Nice and the rest of the staff. He said it's kind of like the Ohio State quarterbacks. We have an abundance of them, and they're all good. It's not a bad thing. Well, that's confident.
All their pitchers?
Starters, all their starters.
Or just their starter.
Well, their earned run average is second in the National League at 2.92. Ashe floats one to right as a pinch hitter for Harang. And Granderson takes care of it. 2 outs. And Ben Revere's coming up with 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Giles is loosening up in the pen. So is Diekman. Breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
They're both going to need a couple more minutes to get loose. Only been up 4 pitches right now.
Well, Murphy leads it off, so it's got to be Diekman. Diekman was up for a moment in the top of the 7th. Garcia was up. Diekman was up too, right toward the end, but then he sat down to the right side. And Herrera this time makes a clean throw, and it's an easy 7th inning for Jonathan Nice. Phillies go down 1-2-3. We'll move on to the top of the 8th inning here in Philadelphia with the Mets on top 3-2. further. Buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And buy Toyota. The Toyota Time sales event ends June 1st. Hurry in today. Toyota. Let's go places. Top of the 8th inning. Mets 3, Phillies 2. And Jake Diekman will be the new pitcher. Mike, little baby blue.
I see that. Appreciate that guy.
Daniel Murphy is 1 for 3. Fastball, and it's 0-1. Diekman 7.94 earned run average.
Murph awake down there?
Murph's about to give us the Major League Notebook in just a moment. I can see that shirt from way up here, Murph. No balls at 2 strikes. Out of play. Just a bit outside, 1-2.
Daniel Murphy's like, to me, is like the Chase Utley of the New York Mets. You know what I mean? Good, solid player every day. Goes out there, hard-nosed guy.
Swing and a miss. He is struck out. Well, he certainly, like Utley, in past years has racked up the doubles. All right, here we go. Greg Murphy with the Major League Notebook. Murph?
Yes, thank you, guys. It's time for that Major League Notebook. And how about this? The Pirates made Major League history tonight. First time in the history of baseball that this happened in a game. Guys on second and third in the second inning for the Cardinals. Line drive to Neil Walker at second base. Both guys break from their bases. Walker catches the ball. It was a line drive over his head. He catches the ball, comes back to his feet, fires it to third, and then gets the return throw to second. The 4-5-4 triple play. It has never happened in baseball before. It happened tonight against the Cardinals. First time the Cardinals have been involved in a triple play since 2003. Pretty impressive indeed. 4-5-4. I got to be honest, I'm shocked that it's never happened before.
Well, as Mike said, we could find anything at any time these days, and Murph just found it. The 4-5-4 double play. We've got a pitching change. Luis Garcia will take over for the Phillies here in the top of the 8th inning with one man down. He takes over for Jake Diekman, and he'll face Kevin Plawecki. Plawecki is 0 for 3. And he hits the first pitch off his foot, a foul ball. It's 0-1. See the numbers on Garcia. It's been a good year so far. 2.13 ERA. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Nasty, hard, late slider there. One thing, that hitter read fastball all the way.
In the dirt, 1-2.
Nice play by Carlos. It's so important to have a catcher, and we talk about it every day. It seems like he can throw a ball in the dirt and he's going to block it.
Well, he even blocks it with nobody on base. Just stay in practice.
Boy, that was a good pitch. I think it fooled the home plate umpire.
Tom, I can believe you're 100% correct right there.
I think it had to, right?
I don't know how they differentiate between that high pitch and that, I mean, that for sure was within the book rule. High side of the strike zone.
Chopper foul, remains 3-2. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD. Visit MLB.TV for more details. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. In the dirt, ball 4. Garcia looked like he slipped. Hopefully he didn't hurt himself.
You know how I watch you guys at home sometimes, and I don't know whether I'm allowed to say this or not, but I'm going to risk it.
Go ahead, throw it out there.
Apple TV. Put Apple TV on the screen, and I got you guys. I got you guys MLB.com on my iPad.
It's a great thing. The technology you can.
I do that when you are away, and I can only get the home team feed.
Right. Yeah, I think there's a lot of folks that do the same thing. The MLB.TV is basically your computer that'll be caught by your iPad. It's on your TV, but then you can catch it onto your iPad. 1 ball and no strikes to Herrera. You watch Netflix on Apple TV also?
Could, but don't. I must admit, sometimes it's the iPad sitting next to me on the couch and the remote is in my hand with Golf Channel on the TV.
It's always good to multitask.
Matt does the same thing, but he's got a hockey game on.
That I do.
Two balls and no strikes to Herrera. Garcia overthrowing. He looks like he's landing incorrectly or something.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like he landed on like that ball 4 pitch or the pitch right before that pitch a little awkwardly on one leg.
So Major League scoreboard, Chris Bryant has hit his first Major League home run for the Cubs. They trail at 6-4. 21st game for Bryant.
He wasted them all in the spring.
He sure did. Addison Russell had 2 for the Cubs.
He's going to get hot.
Bryant will
get hot.
I think he's been hitting. He just hasn't been hitting for power.
He's slumped a little bit. He was over 400 now. He's what, 270? He's got a nice swing.
Fly ball to center field. That'll drop for a hit. That'll put runners on first and second with 1 out.
Well, it's important to keep this a one-run ball game. Yeah, he just looks. Yeah, Bob's coming out to chat with him, but he just looks like he's feeling something.
Yeah, he doesn't look right. Yeah, he doesn't look right after that one pitch that he slipped off the mound.
Wasn't there a rule years ago that only a certain number of infielders were allowed on the mound?
Boy, that's a good question. I don't know. Tejada, who's had a couple hits tonight, he's 2 for 4. He flied out to the track in center field his last time up.
Well, let's see what we do here. He's proven he likes that inside fastball. Hit it over the third base bag for a double last time.
Down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Garcia hasn't been right since the pitch to the catcher that he thought he struck him out on.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And ever since then, he's got in that mode of...
He's picking.
Woe is me. Get on the mound, throw pitches. Throw a strike.
Well, he's definitely pitching away from contact.
And he has a tremendous fastball. His fastball can get, we've seen 97, 98. I find he falls in love with that slider. It is a good slider, don't get me wrong. But I find that when he needs to throw a strike, he can't rely on the fastball because he hasn't found the strike zone with it yet.
You guys mentioned this. These are big outs right now. You got a 1-run game with 2 outs or 2 innings to get that run back. You can't let them score anymore here. They have a very good closer in Familia. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
See, that's a very good fastball with almost like a natural cut. Sometimes I wish pitchers would understand how hard it is to square up a fastball at 97, 98.
Well, he's nibbled to these last couple of hitters, and now he's behind again 3-2 with runners on first and second. Araujo and DeFreitas warming up in the pen.
Start the runners here?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would say no in this spot, but you do have a lead. They don't go. Ball 4. Well, they're going to have to go get him. Johnny Morel is going to pinch hit for the Mets. Larry Boa.
Yeah,
I think he just said that the guy at third was slow.
Well, here what he was saying was he was looking out at the middle infielders, telling them to play halfway, double play depth. But if the ball's hit, if it's not a double play ball hit right at you, automatic double play, you can charge it and you have a slow runner on third and you can get him at home. You got a fast runner at the plate.
Well, this is the major league debut for Johnny Morel. Swing and a miss, although I thought he had played before. By the way, they just announced his major league debut, but he did play for San Francisco, and now it's his Mets debut. Here's his career pinch hitting numbers. So Johnny Manel 0 for 6 with a hit batter. One ball, one strike. Foul ball, and it's 1-2.
Well, that ball was right down the heart of the plate, and Matt just pointed out it was 97.
Yeah, so he has it.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's your pop-up in the infield foul ball pitch right there. It's your strikeout pitch, too. A lot of times a hitter can scare a pitcher with a good swing at one.
Outside 2-2. 98 with that fastball.
I got to tell you, that's a heck of a take right there with the bases loaded and 1 out. That's a nasty slider right there. I mean, that looked like a fastball to me. And just dove in the dirt out of the strike zone. That's a heck of a take.
Granderson is on deck. Boy, this is a big pitch right here.
Yeah.
3-2 with 1 out and the bases loaded.
Matt's sitting all over a fastball right here.
Back toward the middle. Garcia's got it. Goes home for 1 to first. Double play. Rupp holds out of the bag. It took a little more time initially than you'd like, but it was still a 1-2-3 double play, and the side is retired. Got a little dicey for Luis Garcia throughout the inning.
Yeah,
including that throw. But Rupp hangs out of the bag. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Play of the game. What do you got, Matt?
Well, it just happened a second ago. 3 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded. Hawk comebacker to Garcia makes a very nice play. Throws to Chooch at first base. Oh, he's going to do it off balance, but get the 1-2-3 double play, just like they wrote it up, and that's why that's your defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealership.
What were you going to say, Mike, that was a bar of soap that Garcia threw to home plate?
Well, he did kind of throw it a little, I don't know. Are you allowed to say a little bit girlish, so to speak? Watch out.
He didn't have a whole lot on it.
Yeah.
Did not have a whole lot on it.
Kind of a bar of soap. Did somebody just say that, man?
Yeah. Here's Freddie Galvis against Carlos Torres. And Galvis sends one to right center field. Lagares is not going to get this one, and it dies at the 398 sign. And Galvis will drop anchor at second. A leadoff double in this one-run game.
Freddie jumps on that first ball, fastball. Attaboy, Freddie.
Fastball.
A little bit of an uppercut right there.
Yeah, but he shows that once in a while. I don't mind that because he has the power to hit a home run once in a while.
Well, yeah, he sure does. No doubt about that.
But we don't want him to get into a habit of doing that.
Well, here's Carlos Torres' numbers. 8 hits allowed.
Well, now we'll see if Darren Ruff can move him. We don't want Darren to give himself up. Not saying that, but would like to see him hit something hard the right side of second base.
The right side is wide open between Duda and Herrera. Ooh, because you wanted him to
hit that one.
Yeah.
It looked like a cutter.
Well, it was a slider that didn't slide. Yeah, it was probably a cutter slider.
Goes the other way. Gets the runner to third. 3 unassisted. Tying runs over third base for the Phillies.
Well, that's excellent. That's even better than a nice piece of hitting. Little slider low and away. All right. He gave me a ball out there, and I'm just going to hit it the other way.
Darren Ruff did his job, and now it's going to be Grady Sizemore, not Jeff Rancourt. And Terry Collins is going out to the mound, and that's going to be it for this Torres. But don't despair. There's another Torres that they can bring in, and he's left-handed. So a pitching change here in Philadelphia. Phillies trail it by 1, but they have the tying run over at third. Low prices on kitchen disposables, consumables, small wares, and so much more from your new restaurant partner, Who But WB Mason. Well, on what was what still is a gorgeous night here in Philadelphia, That little guy getting a chance to enjoy some time here at the old ballpark. Alex Torres will come on. Lefty's hitting 200 against him, and that's relevant because there's a lefty that's coming up now for the Phils. And Grady Sizemore. Jonathan Papelbon starts to throw in the pen for the Phillies. So Sizemore will pinch hit for Francoeur. He was announced, and that's why Terry Collins made the switch. 2 for 7 so far as a pinch hitter.
Alex Torres, one of few pitches wearing the protection hat.
Yeah, it's been revamped this year. You can see it's more on the outside than engulfing the whole hat. Infield is in. Sizemore takes inside, 1-0.
So the ESPN special, what is it? Let's say Outside the Lines had a special on this a couple days ago.
Very well done. There's some pitchers that are wearing a silicone that's inside the hat. That's not approved, as Matt mentioned, by Major League Baseball. This one is. I should say it's not certified by Major League Baseball.
So basically, that's just a hat with a padding going around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only
Velcroed on.
protects. It's like the helmets that the coaches wear. You know, it only protects. Doesn't protect your jaw or your face or anything. Right. Your brain. Protects your brain. I guess we're going to contact here. I noticed Boa and all of them screaming out there for Freddie to get a big jump.
He's walking down the third base line. Outside, 3-0. Cesar Hernandez on deck.
You know, people out there may be thinking, why not Utley, why not Howard in this situation? I think Matt and I were too, to some degree, but you also have to remember that we're coming down to the bottom of the batting order here, and if we don't tie the game, we're going to be into the 8-9 hitters in the lineup, and probably next inning if we don't tie it up now. I mean, that's going to be your spot probably for your big guys.
Buddy Carlisle is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen right now for the Mets. Philly's favorite sports blog is now a show. Check out the 700 Level show hosted by John Gonzalez at 700level.com and watch the TV premiere Thursday night at 6 and 11:30 over on the Comcast Network. Dan Worthen out to the mound to talk to Alex Torres. Switch hitting Cesar Hernandez is coming up. The right-handed batting Cesar right now. He just had a conversation with Pete McCannon over at third. Terry Collins is telling Lucas Duda to watch the push bunt up the first base line.
There's not a thing that you can do if Hernandez lays down a push bunt. There's no way you're going to be able to defend it. As long as he gets it down on the ground, Galvis will be safe very easily at home. Doesn't matter how hard Duda charges at first.
Well, then on the negative side of that, the only thing you prevent by not bunting, by not trying it, is popping up the bunt.
4 in a row, 5 in a row.
I mean, your matchup here should be a good one. I mean, just hit the ball hard somewhere is all you can do.
Few opportunities for Cesar with runners at third with less than 2 outs. 2 for 4. Six in a row.
Showing some good discipline as hitters with men, with that big run on third and 1 out. I mean, those are great pitches if the batter swings.
Collins, you can't watch. He moved away from his spot. 7 pitches, 7 balls.
They're getting the white towel waved at him from the bullpen.
Ball full. Oh!
Whoa! They're screaming out of the dugout now. I see him. Look at them down there. They're screaming at him. That's not automatic. little subtle yank in there by the catcher.
Yeah. That's ball 4. And it's going to be left to Ruiz, as it was left to Ruiz in the 6th inning. Buddy Carlisle is coming in. The bases are loaded. 1 man down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Alex Torres has faced 2. He's walked 2. He threw just 1 strike to the 2 batters that he was dealing with in tonight's game. So Buddy Carlisle will be the new pitcher for the New York Mets, the journeyman. Phillies have the bases loaded, 1 man down here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. We'll be back. Of the game. All right, guys, the Phillies need to tie this game up. Runner at second, Darren Rupp the other way.
He does a very nice job getting the foot down early, doing a nice job getting Galvis over to third base after hitting the double. That's how you play small ball. And then all of a sudden you see Freddie coming to third base. So now they're getting a situation. Grady Sizemore pinch hits. He walks on 4 pitches. Cesar Hernandez walks on 5 pitches. That's why we have a situation now. The base is loaded.
And Carlos Ruiz is up against right-hitter Buddy Carlisle. Phillies with 6 hits. Been helped out by a couple walks in this inning. Ruiz, an RBI double his last time up. First pitch is over for a strike. It's 0-1.
You want to know how important that small ball stuff is? Right there is an example. I think the whole inning was set up by Ruff moving that runner. You just think of the opposite side of that. He doesn't move the runner. And there he is on second base with 1 out. This whole inning can't unfold the way it does now.
Outside, 1-1. See Carlisle's numbers fairly pedestrian with a 6.43 ERA. That one's pulled towards short, backhanded by Tejada. They'll get 1, and they got 2. No argument from Juan Samuel out of the first base coach's box. Ryan Sandberg is coming out, and he wants the home plate umpire to hold the defense. Sammy didn't argue at all. And they are not going to review it.
He was out at first. That's a heck of a turn there at second base by Herrera. I got to say, and that was a great play by Tejada at short.
Ends the Phils rally. Carlisle does his job. We'll go to the 9th inning. Under next Sunday, the 17th. It's all part of a 3-game series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Well, the Phillies had a golden opportunity to tie the game at least in the bottom of the 8th inning. Carlos Ruiz hit the ball right on the nose, but a double play turned by the Mets. Grady Sizemore, who came on to pinch hit.
And a great turn it was. I'm telling you, Hernandez was right in Herrera's wheelhouse when he threw that ball to first base with something on it.
One and one to Granderson. Granderson's been on base twice. 1 for 3. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. 1-2 to Granderson. Up the first base side. Darren Ruff will take it to the bag. One away. All right, here's the play that ended the bottom of the 8th for the Phils.
First of all, Chooch smokes that ball. That's a great stop, backhanded and a wide. Look at. Well, I take back what I said. I would like to have seen a little bit more aggression on that takeout slide. Remember back in the day, it would have been a roll block, right?
Yes, it would have.
That guy would have been flipped
to left field.
Yeah, even a little bit of contact.
But, he was still sliding.
But he slides to the bag. He stops with the bag. Really, you kind of want to slide late. I would love to see Chase Utley in that situation right there. Or Chooch going in that situation.
How about Gary Matthews? How about Sarge?
Well, he would have been plowing in there.
You almost have to take off to second base with the attitude of, this guy is not turning this double play.
Well, Lagares is the reason why the Mets have the lead. His home run, his last time up, made it 3-2. He's now hitting .346 lifetime against the Phillies. Now one's out toward right center field. Grady Sizemore will make the catch.
Lagares has some nice swings at that high pitch.
and 2 outs here in the 9th inning. And here's Lucas Duda. Lucas Duda takes strike 1. Blanco was signaling with Tom Goodwin, first base umpire. I was able to see if there were any of his teammates that he was following on those hand signals. 1 ball, 1 strike to Duda. Swing and a miss, tied him up 1-2.
That's a nasty cutter. That's the pitch you never saw for many, many years. There's a 96-mile-an-hour cutter.
I didn't. I didn't see it for 18 years.
Check swing. Did he go? No.
I really think pitchers are getting so good, Matt. Nowadays with the 4 pitches, some with 5, and the size and the speed. It might be a new norm in baseball. This might be a new normal.
Be remarkable to see what happens in another 10, 15 years and how it even changes then. Jeurys Familia is going to come out at the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies down by 1. Have a 3-2 leads.
Yeah, it is. Me singles to lead this inning off. Left him in the game. And that's a tomahawk swing at a high fastball. You don't see that very often. The guy gets the head out and kind of puts some top hand on that high fastball. There you can see how fast and far they go when you get that top hand involved.
So Juan Lagares' home run has given the Mets a 1-run lead as we start the bottom of the 9th inning.
He's had a heck of a game. Beside his home run, I mean, he ran down that long fly ball. Trying to think who hit that. It might have been Revere, and he had the line drive at him. It took a bad hop that he kept in front of him. He threw the ball to home when Revere was on base to stop Revere at third.
Well, here's Jeurys Familia, who's the closer for the Mets. Henry Mejia injured early on and then banned because of a violation of use of PEDs. Bobby Parnell also was a closer for the Mets. He's coming back from Tommy John surgery. So it's Familia who's been very good. There's Chase Utley, who's come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit. He's going to pitch hit for Andres Blanco. Odubel Herrera is 0 for 3. Got to get the tying run aboard. No balls and 1 strike.
Well, that wasn't the smooth swing you were talking about. That was downtown Brown swing there. We're going to see the A-team here in this inning.
See Utley and then Howard.
With all due respect to the lineup, we are going to see the big boys here.
There's Ryan, helmet on, sweat.
You wonder why he's sweating. I'm sure he's been taking batting practice under the cage underneath.
Herrera asked for time. He does that quite often. This time not granted, and it's 0-2. And now Barrett gives it to him.
There's no need to give him timeout, actually.
He was already in his
he was in his pre-shot routine, as they say. Apologizes to the umpire for getting out of sync there. Matt, now's when you're key to the game. Odubel making some contact, just putting the bat on the ball, not trying to leave the park, comes into play.
Struck him out. That's the third time tonight he has struck out. And there's one away here in the ninth. Don't forget, coming up after the ball game, Ricky Metallico will give his analysis of this matchup between the Phillies and the Mets. Only on Pure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Postgame Live.
Chase Utley gets a nice hand here. You know, everyone in the ballpark knows the struggles that Chase has had so far this year. That just goes to show you how much respect everyone has for him. What a better time to get it going right here, huh?
It would be a great time. Takes a fastball low, 1-0. ...20 career pinch hits for Chase Utley. 1 ball and no strikes. Pulls that one foul, and it's 1-1.
I think he might have swung at ball 2 right there, but I don't know, Matt. I like to see the aggressive approach to hitting right here, huh?
See the difference from this year to last year. 325. He had a great first month, first 6 weeks.
We were talking about 50 doubles right now this time last year.
Up high, 2-1. From Familia.
Had a little in reserve, huh?
Oof. Pretty good fastball.
Little movement on it at the end. Two balls, 2 strikes to Chase. And now 3-2. Slider at 91 miles an hour. That's the pitch he got Herrera with. Howard's on deck.
And this is where 3 balls, 2 strikes. As a hitter, you have to think 2 balls, 2 strikes. Too many times guys will get 3 balls, 2 strikes and think automatic fastball.
I would be.
If you think 2-2, now it's a protect mode with that fastball.
Setting up toward the outer half. And Utley rips it, and it's a base hit. It's a right center
That's 2.
field.
Nope.
And he'll hold up at first. So a 1-out single for Chase Utley.
Good play by Granderson to cut that ball off, keep him on first base. Nice at bat. Good to see Chase line one up the middle and holding that bat like that. Maybe they'll get him rolling.
There's Ryan Howard last night. against Matt Harvey. First pitch swinging.
Yeah, that was a beautiful thing right there. And get the fastball out over the plate. And his last couple home runs have been to left center. A double to left center. Hey, why not make it a hat trick and go there again?
Well, that base hit by Utley ends an 0 for 19 stretch for him. And for Howard, you saw those numbers. He's been an excellent pinch hitter. A lot of guys who are everyday players, they're not. Sometimes they're not very good pinch hitters.
You know, in the old days, Matt, you didn't play in the old days, but I mean, you could hit off of a tee up in the clubhouse. You could take batting practice behind the dugout underneath now.
Yeah. First pitch coming to Howard. Inside, 1-0. Starts him off with a slider instead of the fastball.
Well, I'm assuming that people out there watching TV aren't saying to them, why didn't he just hit one over third base here? Why didn't he just hit one down to third base?
He's not getting paid to do that. Although it would be nice to hit one down there.
And outfielders are way back all the way around. Kadire, the deepest of the three. Out towards center field. Lagares ventures back. He's under it, and he makes the catch for the second out. He just got that toward the end of the bat.
Had to. I mean, the swing looked good. The sound was just a little off. You watch this swing. Boom. Yeah, it had to be right down on the.
Just off towards the end of the bat. Tom, that's that movement you were talking about earlier at 99. Just last second when you think you're going to square it up, and it just goes to the bad side. If you can get jammed a little bit, still hit out of the ballpark, but a ball right there is hard to drive out of the ballpark.
Well, now it's left to Ben Revere to try to keep this game alive. He's been on base twice. He reached on a walk. He reached on an error. Scored a run. He's grounded out twice.
Ball gets heavy when it gets around 9,900, doesn't it? Got a big gap out there in right center. Woo.
Tomorrow's starter Bartolo Colon for the Mets. Chad Billingsley will start for the Phils. No balls and one strike to Revere. Our Mother's Day broadcast will begin at 1:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. The Big Sunday Show. We'll kick it off at 1 o'clock. 1 ball, 1 strike to Revere. Chopper up the first base line. It is a fair ball, and that will end the game. The Mets win it 3-2 as Familia closes things out. And New York takes game 2 of this 3-game series. Juan Lagares' 2-run home run, the difference. He is our Chevrolet player of the game. As Mike said, he made a couple of good defensive plays as well out in center fields. Jonathan Neese, over his last 7 starts against the Phils, he's 5-0 with an ERA of 1.5. And Terry Collins' team is 7-0 during that time. Final score, it's the Mets 3 and the Phillies 2. We'll be back to Citizens Bank Park to wrap it up right after this.